Welcome to the heartbeat of our community. It's businesses. From the hum of machinery to the hands that craft with care, we explore the innovative spirit and enduring tradition of Cabarrus County's manufacturers. Join us as we uncover the stories behind the products made right here in our own backyard and celebrate the people who make them. This is where creativity meets craftsmanship. This is Made in Cabarrus.
So Lilly has been around almost 150 years. We were founded in 1876 by Colonel Eli Lilly. Colonel Eli Lilly was a pharmacist, he was a dad, and so for almost 150 years, we've been making life-saving, life-changing medicines. Proud to now be doing that here in Concord, North Carolina. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so not only a Lilly employee, but a Lilly patient. And I've been on Lilly insulin since the very beginning. So I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old. So growing up, I remember opening up the fridge and seeing the vial of insulin in there and seeing that red Lilly logo with the Lilly script and knowing that when I grow up, I want to work for them because that was the company that was keeping me alive.
Early in my life, I was touched by compassion and dedication of healthcare professionals when they are helping my brother battle cancer. Their tireless efforts are what inspired me to have a career in pharmaceuticals. And today, I get to carry his memory with me, knowing that we're making medicine that's helping our communities, it's helping our friends, and it's helping our families to keep them healthy and alive. So I'm really proud of that privilege, and I hope that he's proud of that too.
We are building a state-of-the-art site. We are creating 600 positions, 600 jobs, high family-sustaining jobs. We create an impact on our patients with our medicine, but we also want to create a positive impact in the communities where we operate.
In the beginning, I did not start Complete Design with the intention of a legacy pass-through. And that's still not necessarily the intention today. However, I have family that works here, and several employees have family that works here. Partly that's because we look for people that we can trust. And when you interview people and you bring people in, we're looking for quality human beings. Who do you trust more than your own family? And in my case, there is no one I trust more.
I've worked other jobs before. This is definitely the best one that I've worked, and it just so happens that my dad is my boss.
Family is the most important thing to my dad, and we want other people here to be able to experience that, not miss out on the important things in life. Your kids aren't going to remember that you were on time for work or you went to work every day. They're going to remember that you were there for them, and I think he's trying to instill that in everyone here.
I've been here for 17 years. I did not miss a ball game. I did not miss any family activities. I can honestly say I didn't miss any of it. It's just something that I can watch my son grow. Been through a lot of stuff with him. To have him with me every day, it means a lot to me. I knew good and well that I could get my son to come in here. He's got a family of his own, so I knew that he didn't want to miss anything with his family either.
He'd come home and talk about it. He's been around forever, and he's always been with us. Like me and my sister, he's never been away from anything, and I don't realize it until I started working more. It's good knowing that no matter what I have going on, in work, outside of work, there's always a constant person that I can walk up to, and he'll help me no matter what.
So Ketchie's story started in 1947. Ed Ketchie Sr. was a captain in the Air Force. He was in World War II. He came home and worked here and worked in the textile mills. And he saw a need for precision machine parts to support the textile industry. And so he started Ketchie, and he was a true entrepreneur, craftsman, a big visionary. And the second generation came, his son, Ed Ketchie Jr., in the 1970s. Third generation, Bobby, his son, came in the early 2000s.
And he was a natural relationship builder, really good in sales. And so he really refocused the company and built a lot of partnerships that we are still participating in and benefiting from today. Sadly, Bobby passed away in 2014 of brain cancer, and that's when I became president and owner. I feel like I walked through the door of opportunity into the manufacturing world and haven't looked back. I've fallen in love with it over the years, and it's such a great privilege and responsibility to be leading and being responsible for creating a culture and a positive environment where our team members can develop and grow their God-given talents and skills and abilities.
I was a single parent looking for a job. I applied and went to a position in a manufacturing company, and they took me to an area where there was a bunch of women, and they was sitting around counting nuts and bolts. And I said, I can't do that. So they took me out on the shop floor, and I started running drill press and Bridgeports, and that was the beginning of my machining legacy. 30 years in manufacturing. My dad done it, and I think I put a good standard out there for my children for work ethic and the ability to move up in a company. So when my children came into manufacturing, they started low, and now they're progressed to higher positions and learning more. So I feel that I've inspired my kids to have the same work ethic as I do. My daughter didn't have a clue how to even read a tape measure, and now she's in manufacturing, so she understands that there's more processes to something than just making a hole in it.
As a kid, she worked in it for 30 years and I knew nothing about it. I'm like, okay, that's your job. And so when I got here, I was able to understand different parts and what she enjoyed with her job.
I originally started working on cars with my dad, and I had this old beater car. It was a 78 Oldsmobile, and the muffler fell off. And my dad said, oh, well, the welder's right over there. You just got to crank it and weld it back on. So I tried it with an old stick welder, and I blew through miserably. It was terrible. Then I decided I want to take a class, so I learned how to do it correctly, and I've always liked creating things, so it kind of just stuck with me. I've worked with a few women. One in particular had been doing the job for about 30 years, and she had a little notebook, and she would take notes and tricks or trial and errors, and she would write it all down, and it was all tribal knowledge for her, but she really helped out. I kind of try and do the same thing to anybody else. If they're doing a job that I've done before, I try and help them out the best I can. If I can't, we go and find somebody who can help them out, because we're a team. That's what it's all about.
"30 years ago is when I joined Corning, and I actually joined with my wife. We both received jobs. We both took plant tours, got job offers, and just couldn't say no. And 30 years later, I'm still with the company."
The reason I think Corning's been around for so long is it's consistently invested in innovation. It's new products that the people and the market wants. But with that, they know they have to invest in new technology and their people to equip them to be able to make those products. And that combination of things has really paid off well, in my opinion, and what's allowed them to thrive.
I think part of it is because we're a family, and we do a lot to make sure that our employees feel that way. We understand how they feel, and we're working through, any constraints or concerns that may come up. Corning does a great job of making sure that people feel taken care of, and they feel like they're walking into a family environment.
We are a 24/7 plant, but I'm not a 24/7 employee. And the company really encourages you to take the time away, use your vacation, unplug, and spend time with your family and friends.
It was always, that was the good dishware. They always didn't break, and they were always wedding presents. So it was like, hey, this is kind of like the old staple. If you want something to last, you buy it. You buy it once, it's good. So the name reliability and quality had always, even as a child, had kind of been instilled in my mind with regards to Corning. Even though they make other things, kind of where I got introduced to them, and it's always like, this is the good stuff. It lasts forever.
The lifeblood of any company are your people. And, when you get high quality people, then you've got to kind of turn them loose and let them go. And so, we kind of look at what are the end results. Are we successful? Aren't we successful? Are we accomplishing what we really set out to do, or are we not? Production is really the king here. You got to be able to produce products that reduce your costs. One thing that has really helped Safewaze build our business is that we're very reactive to our customer needs. We're very service oriented. It's really in our DNA. It's where we started in the beginning, and it's something that's continued even to today, is that we will out-service anyone in our industry. Jennifer's played a big part into that. She bought off into that earlier on, and she, now she lives it. She's a very big part of really broadcasting that message out, not only to the employees, but to our customers as well.
I'll never forget it. There was an instance, it was month end. Month end is crazy. You're out there shipping as many orders as you can to beat a certain number, and he's standing right next to me. And right next to the shipping crew, packing boxes, working just as hard as the rest of us. Just seeing that, you don't have to be a production worker or an hourly worker to get the job done, right? You're going to lead by example. So if you want people to do, what you're going to do, you should step in and do it.
Working in this industry specifically, we do a lot of sewing. It's predominantly a female role. So a lot of the people in here that work at these sewing machines are women. I teach them everything that I know. So I feel like they do have the same opportunities that I have had over the years.
As we've seen through the stories of both established and emerging companies, the spirit of innovation and tradition thrives together here in Cabarrus County. These manufacturers are not just making products, they are crafting a legacy made right here in Cabarrus.